At this time, I'd like to call upon our first speaker, Laurie Mawlam from Autism Canada.
I'm going to be short and sweet. I want to tell you a little bit about Autism Canada and a little bit about my personal journey, and then I'll introduce our keynote speaker. In the late 1990s, there was a group of parents that couldn't find support for their children that were diagnosed with autism but weren't well, and they were going to the United States. And the physician there got the parents together and introduced them to one another. And they decided that they needed an organization in Canada that not only discussed the traditional treatments, but the emerging treatments, and talked about autism as a whole body disorder. And in 2002, Autism Canada was founded, and we are a registered charity. So we have 4 mission critical areas that we focus on. And the first one is that we support parents in their journey by telling them about a multidisciplinary approach. We are the only autism organization that I'm aware of in Canada that not only supports this, but advocates for it. But as you know, you find this information out and you want to have a practitioner that's your partner. So the second thing we do is we try to influence or build capacity in the medical establishment so that they'll look beyond the behavioral diagnosis and treat some of the medical or comorbidities that exist in autism. So how do we do that? Well, we have the physician handbook, which I brought today, and we talk about the different reports that are out. We go to physician conferences, we've done practitioner training. The third thing we do is we lobby at the provincial level for policy change. The reason being is I could never fundraise, or our group could never fundraise enough to get every family the funds that they need to get the treatments that they need for their children. And really, if it was any other disorder, wouldn't we be getting that from our healthcare system? The fourth thing we do is we do give money to research. And the research that we've focused on is the gut-brain research by Dr. Derek McFabe at the Western University, and he collaborates with Alan Vercoy at Guelph University. But certainly if funds were to come in larger amounts, we certainly would be giving more money to this sort of research. So I just want to tell you about some of the things that we have available for families. First of all, we have an online screening tool, whether it's for a toddler, a preschool-age child, a teenager, or an adult. We have, under treatments on our website, autismcanada.org, we have a library of treatment options categorized under biomedical, behavioral, communication, etc. We have a page on it that actually the Autism Research Institute, who we have a memo of understanding with, put together on peer-reviewed journal articles that support the whole body disorder. We do a conference every year somewhere in Canada, and we partner with an autism organization, and we webcast the conference free, and we tape the lectures and we put them online with a PDF of the slides. So when parents call us, regardless of what it is, if the lecture's already there, we'll point them to it and tell them to call us back if they have more questions. Now, I brought a number of things here today for you to take home, and I just want to go through them quickly. Every family is going to be given a Cutting Edge Therapies for Autism book. They're outside. I ask you, if it's something that's going to sit on your shelf, give it to the next parent or give it to a public library. Okay, pay it forward. I brought the Autism Physician Handbook. And really it's all about screening and talking to parents, a physician talking to parents so that they know what the signs of autism look like in our kids. Because for me, I knew something was different about my child when he was 1 year old. But it took till he was 2 years, 10 months to get a diagnosis because it's a wait and see game. Don't wait and see. But the interesting thing is back here, we have potential referrals. And one of them is a gastroenterologist, an immunologist, so it gets the medical establishment thinking about these referrals. And once we pull them in with this, we're going to talk to them about medical comorbidities and the literature review that Dr. James Adams did on the summary of dietary, nutritional, medical treatments for autism. So I brought copies of all of these things. What I want you to do is join our team. And probably you're seeing Dr. Doherty for your child that has ADD, autism, etc. But you might have other children, or you might have your own GP that you're going to. I want you to take these pieces of information and spread the word. So they're all here for you today to take. And if you don't feel that you have to, if it's something you're comfortable with, go for it. Lastly, I brought our annual report fresh off the press if you want to read a little bit more. And if you'd like to support our cause, I brought donation cards, so they're out there in the back. So I got involved with this because in late 1990, I had 3 boys in 3 years, and I knew that something was different about my middle boy. And I decided very quickly that his chronic diarrhea and his lack of sleep wasn't helping matters, and that's what I went for. I wanted to heal his gut. I did 3 years of a Sunrise program. It was the best choice for me. And in grade 1, he started school with no EA, no special curriculum, and I consider him recovered. He's in grade 10. He maintains an over 80 grade level. He is on the senior Reach for the Top team, for those of you that remember Reach for the Top. He has a cell phone. He texts his friends. He has a younger brother that he took on a tour of the school with a friend, a girlfriend that he hangs out with a bit at school. And he just blew me away because I was tagging along. And he was so outgoing. He'd be going by doors and knocking on them and say, "Oh, excuse me, Mrs. Johnson. Tommy Mawlam, I'm not sure if you remember me, Cole's in your physics class. This is my younger brother Michael and his friend Nicholas, and I'm just showing them around the school. Oh, come on into the physics room." I couldn't believe how outgoing he was. He's really amazing and he's really special, and I think he chose me to be his mother so I could do this and pay it forward. So I'm going to tell you a little story about Tommy and his Sunrise program. In Sunrise, we have a 2-way mirror in the door so we can watch. And after 2 years, we started doing play dates. And he had his little friend Alex over, and Linda was the adult in the room. And out of the blue, Alex goes, "Is Tommy Catholic?" And they're trying to play this game, and Linda goes, "No, Tommy's not Catholic." "Well, then what is he?" And Tommy goes, "I'm a saint." So I wanted to tell that little story because a saint to me, I'm a Christian, and it's someone that can allow miracles to happen. It's a disciple, someone who passes the word on. And we have a saint in the autism world doing a keynote today, and that's Dr. Mumper. The first time I seen her was in 2005. She'd already been practicing, specializing in this field for 5 years, and she was taking over for Dr. Sid Baker, who was leading the Dan movement at the time. She's a pediatrician, and she has a center, the Rimland Center, and I'd say that the granddaddy saint, Dr. Bertie Rimland, is what the center's named after. It is with great pleasure and honor to welcome Dr. Liz Mumper to Burlington.